Alvin Bragg's case against President Trump would never have been brought, according to all the prosecutors that have been interviewed, except because the defendant is Donald Trump. I want to touch on the Trump case in New York a little bit. Everybody knows that this guy, Alvin Bragg, brought this case against Donald Trump. But what's coming out now is there's tons and tons of legal experts saying if the case didn't involve Trump, if it would say involved Will Johnson, Barry Nussbaum, whatever, there would have been no case. Prosecutor after prosecutor are now saying that if it wasn't Donald Trump, no prosecutor in the country could have legally brought this case. Nobody would have touched it. And I've got quote after quote after quote. I've sent them over to you by these other DAs, some of them in New York, saying that a case based on testimony of this guy, that's Michael Cohen, that's Trump's ex-attorney who went to jail for being a convicted liar, right? I mean, it's really, really hard to go to jail for lying. It's got to be a doozy, and it's got to be of federal importance. He served hard in a prison time for being a liar. He is the lead witness. The second witness in the case is her. Her stripper name, as we know, is Stormy Daniels. And she has now retracted most of her story. And yet, when the case finally comes to trial, it's going to be based on this liar who went to prison for lying and this stripper who says what people say happened with her and Donald Trump never happened. She's lost 2 court cases, Will, right? 2 cases where judges have found she owes Trump money for lying. Okay, that's the case. In addition, as we've talked about, Bragg, the George Soros elected prosecutor, refuses to give the details of the case that led to the indictment. Because remember, when you get a grand jury indictment, there's no defense. It's done privately with just the prosecutor, in this case, Bragg, and the grand jury meeting in private with no rebuttal to anything. So he can build whatever case he wants. Here's my question to you. Is it your opinion, like some people, and some of the polling supports this, that the indictment, whether it's good or bad, whether it stands or not, is going to be a big enough dent in Donald Trump's reputation, maybe not to get the nomination, but it'll swing 1 or 2% of the voters to prevent him from retaking the White House? What do you think?
If anything, I believe that this is going to boost him. I think it's going to boost him because everyone supports the underdog. You have the entire federal government. You got DA out of Manhattan going after President Trump. He is the underdog. And it only proves that they're afraid of him. And everybody in the country remembers how good the country was under President Trump. Everybody remembers it. Even the left. The left, you know, they want Trump's America. They just want it without Trump.
Well, they're not going to get it with the new guy.
No, not at all.
He doesn't know where he is.
He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't even know where he's going. If they don't put on his card to change his diaper, he won't know to change it. So what they're doing to President Trump, I believe, is going to elevate him. I really do. And they're going all out. They don't know what else to do. 2 failed removals. They impeached him in the House twice, but they failed twice in the Senate. But they never mentioned that. They only said 2 impeached, indicted president, right? 2 impeached, right? Because he was impeached twice in the House over fraudulent information, simply because they had the votes. That's the only reason why. But it failed in the Senate. And this thing with Alvin Bragg's not sharing the information, what happened to our laws in the country? He's a district attorney. He's supposed to adhere to the law. Now, to my understanding, Barry, if you have to go to court for something, if you can't afford an attorney, one is appointed to you. And that attorney is supposed to have full access to all of the information that they're blaming you on. But in this case, he's saying, no, we're not going to allow you to have the information that we're blaming you on. You just need to find out when we go to court, and that's it. And we're like,
and
no,
you know what?
It doesn't work that way.
In very rare cases, it's possible to do this. That's why everybody is saying Bragg is delaying the case as long as possible. So it overhangs Trump's campaigning. So people are thinking, oh boy, this guy's a big time attorney. He is a big time district attorney. He's from New York. I mean, it's the biggest city in America. So if he brought the indictment, there should be some facts supporting it. So I don't know what those facts are because it's a secret. But, you know, in the fall, right in the middle of the campaign, the trial will start. It'll be incredibly distracting, right? That's the theory of why this was brought.
There's nothing.
I actually think that's 100% why they did it. And all the other prosecutors that looked at the facts before said, there's no there. We can't bring the case. They declined. They declined to bring it to the grand jury.
But you know what's interesting to me is that you have some rhinos right now saying, you know what, President Trump has all of this baggage. We really should look at going with somebody else. We really should. Bunch of rhinos, stinking rhinos. You know what it is? Rhinos against Trump. R-A-T. They're nothing but rats. That's all they are. They're nothing but a bunch of rats. Rhinos against Trump. Bunch of rats.
Well, then it worked. It worked, Will, didn't it?
Well, the thing is, they believe that we're all just going to jump ship. We're all going to abandon what President Trump did for the American people. This is a different country. It's that people have been, they got a spark of reality. They got a spark of actually what is happening in our country. This is the very reason why you have the entire left going so far radical with all of this insane agenda that they're pushing. Has nothing to do with nothing. Like Karine Jean-Pierre just the other day had a group of people on stage that was from a TV show talking about their sexual preference. It has nothing to do with the government. They become so extreme. And they feel they can do this because many people have woken up to what is actually happening. And they're upset with President Trump for doing that.